a narrow strait connecting three Nordic countries, a meeting point between the salty waters of the North Sea and the brackish waters of the Baltic Sea. Skagerrak, a hidden sanctuary of ancient cold-water coral reefs. And countless untold mysteries. Tell us which country you're from, and we'll take you on a journey to explore. Skagerrak, survival in Atlantic's hidden underwater. Skagerrak is a strait located between the western coast of Sweden, the southern part of Norway, and the Jutland Peninsula of Denmark. The surface area of this sea region is only about 47,000 square kilometers. Skagerrak, together with Kattegat, forms the connection between the Atlantic Ocean and the Baltic Sea. Beneath that calm sea surface lies a world in constant motion, where ocean currents intertwine and compete for every layer of water. From the west, the Norwegian current carries salty, heavy, and warm water from the Atlantic Ocean into Skagerrak, pushing deep inland. From the east and northeast, fresh water from major rivers in Norway and Sweden, along with outflow from the Baltic Sea, also pours in. This unusual mix creates an environment that is nearly one of a kind in Europe, a large-scale natural brackish water zone where the average salinity is lower than that of the open sea, providing the perfect conditions for low salinity-loving organisms to thrive. The Skagerrak Sea shows clear stratification based on temperature and salinity. Fresh water, being less dense, floats above the saltier layer below. The surface layer has higher light and temperature levels, making it ideal for the growth of phytoplankton and zooplankton. This forms the foundation of the entire Skagerrak ecosystem, serving as food for many species of fish and marine mammals. The deeper layer is saltier and colder. This is the habitat of various benthic invertebrates. Among them are the cold-water coral reefs of Lophelia pertusa, a hidden biological wonder beneath the depths of Skagerrak. Moderate stratification supports vertical ecological diversity, helping to stabilize habitats for many animal species. Excessive stratification, especially in summer, can lead to hypoxia and nutrient loss, reducing both species richness and ecosystem function. Skagerrak is home to around 2,000 marine species. The 2025 survey, Improving Nature Management and Marine Protection in Skagerrak, reported that 236 fish species have been identified here over the past nearly 40 years. Around 60% of the species studied in Skagerrak have distinct local populations. These populations show significant genetic or morphological differences compared to their counterparts in nearby regions, such as the North Sea, Kattegat, or Baltic Sea. Populations in Skagerrak function almost independently, with the potential to evolve specialized traits that adapt to the unique environment of this area. Skagerrak begins with shallow coastlines where the ocean meets the northern European mainland. To the east, Skagerrak borders the coast of Sweden. Here, thousands of skerries weave together like a maze across the sea. In the Bohuslän region, the Skagerrak archipelago stretches out spectacularly, with around 3,000 larger islands and over 5,000 skerries, marked by their distinctive weathered granite surfaces. To the west, Skagerrak hugs the rocky coast of Norway. Here, a dense network of fjords cuts deep into the mainland. Beneath the sea surface, Skagerrak plunges southward, reaching the Norwegian Trench, an underwater canyon on the ocean floor. Skagerrak also carries many traces of human presence. Along the Swedish shore, fishing villages like Fjällbacka, Smogen and Fiskebackskill nestle beside rocky coves. On the Norwegian side, port towns such as Risør, Lillesand and Grimstad line the coastline. Red-painted wooden houses, tiled roofs and wooden docks all evoke the essence of an original Scandinavia. Hidden among the maze of rocky islands and time-worn coasts, Atlantic cods have long been intertwined with the rhythm of Skagerrak. They inhabit the continental shelf, ranging from shallow coastal waters down to depths of 300 meters. Atlantic cods prefer seabeds with coarse sediments, where they can easily hide and ambush prey such as small fish, crustaceans, or even their own kind. They swim in organized groups, a behavior known as shoaling. The largest fish often take the lead. They guide the group at speeds ranging from 2 to 54 centimeters per second. They also reach prey more quickly and secure better hunting spots, a fitting reward for the risk of leading. Atlantic herrings are one of the favorite prey of Atlantic cods. They are among the most common marine fish species on the planet. Atlantic herrings exhibit schooling behavior, swimming in extremely dense groups. These schools can contain several million individuals, forming a unified biological mass that moves with a shared sense of direction. They search for plankton, evade predators, and seek spawning grounds, reaching speeds of up to 108 centimeters per second. Together with Skagerrak cods, Atlantic herrings are a primary energy source, sustaining a wide range of large fish, seabirds, and marine mammals, including pinniped species. The Skagerrak coastline of Norway and Sweden provides ideal living conditions for seals in northern Europe. Here, many seal individuals have settled for generations. They use the skerries and small islands as places to rest, give birth, and teach their young how to hunt. Along the coastlines of Norway and Sweden, harbor seals find everything they need: small bays, sandy beaches, river mouths, and natural harbors form a stable living network for thousands of individuals each year. Harbor seals hunt primarily near the shore, where Atlantic cods, Atlantic herrings, haddock, shrimp, crabs, and squid gather seasonally, but they are not confined to shallow waters. There have been records of individuals diving as deep as 500 meters in search of prey, an astonishing feat for a coastal species. When hunting large fish schools, harbor seals use a tactic called ram feeding. They charge through the prey with their mouths wide open, similar to how baleen whales filter water and prey while feeding. This strategy is especially effective when targeting Atlantic cods and Atlantic herrings, which tend to swim in dense clusters. At times, harbor seals dive from below or roll onto their backs to take advantage of light reflecting off the bellies of fish, disrupting their natural camouflage. Diving upside down also widens their field of view, allowing them to spot fish schools gathering in the still waters. When reaching shallow waters rich in plankton, harbor seals switch to a filter feeding strategy. They use their teeth like fine mesh to strain tiny organisms from seawater. This flexibility in hunting methods allows them to feed without needing to venture far from shore. They rarely swim more than 20 kilometers offshore. Harbor seals have familiar haul-out spots on land. These are often rocky areas right at the water's edge, close to their hunting grounds. Such locations allow them to slip quickly back into the sea if they sense a threat. They usually live solitary lives, but when hauling out and breeding, they become fairly sociable. However, they do not form large colonies like some other seal species. Harbor seals give birth to one pup each year after a 9-month pregnancy. Just a few hours after birth, the pup can already swim and dive. With their mother's rich, high-fat milk, they double their weight within the first 3 to 4 weeks of life. Harbor seals are not alone. Grey seals also inhabit the same rocky coastal areas along Skagerrak. Compared to harbor seals, they are significantly larger. Grey seals in the eastern Atlantic Ocean can measure between 1.6 to 2.3 meters in length and weigh from 100 to 310 kilograms. Their distinctive appearance, with a straight head, large nose, and widely spaced nostrils, can sometimes lead to confusion with hooded seals, unless one notices their darker coat with fewer spots. Grey seals are generalist predators. They hunt with flexibility and are not picky eaters. Their prey ranges from bottom-dwelling fish to mid-water species, crustaceans, large fish, and even seabirds. Like harbor seals, grey seals hunt in both coastal shallows and deeper waters. In shallow areas, they target bottom-dwelling creatures such as flatfish, octopus, and shrimp. When diving into deeper waters, they go after pelagic fish like sand eel and blue whiting, species that often swim in schools near the mid-water zone. An adult grey seal needs up to 5 kilograms of food per day. However, they do not need to feed continuously. They can go without eating throughout the entire breeding season. Grey seals are capital breeders. They store up fat reserves in the period leading up to the breeding season, and they fast completely while caring for their pups. Each year, this pinniped species gives birth to one pup. The entire nurturing process is the responsibility of the female. Meanwhile, the male's role is to guard his mate from other competing males. Communication plays a vital role in grey seal society. Recently, scientists from Monash University discovered that grey seals have a form of communication beyond vocal calls. They slap their flippers underwater to share information, ward off rivals, or attract mates. Previously, this behavior had only been observed in individuals living in captivity, but now it has been recorded in the natural environment of Skagerrak. However, noise pollution from boats, construction, and sonar equipment is increasingly interfering with the grey seal's ability to communicate. Beneath the rocky shores of Norway and Sweden lies the heartbeat of a lush, quiet yet vibrant world. This is the kelp forest, the green forest of the ocean, playing a vital role in maintaining global ecological balance. Stretching along the shores of Skagerrak from depths of 2 to 20 meters, where light still filters through, large kelp forests thrive. The dense skerry system provides an ideal foundation for these forests to grow. Among them, Laminaria and Saccharina dominate. They form green canopies that sway gently with the waves, offering shelter and spawning grounds for countless tiny marine creatures. Hermit crabs, especially the common hermit crab, are typical residents of the kelp forests in northern Europe. They have learned to make use of every crevice, every abandoned snail shell in these unique underwater forests to survive and evolve. To survive and protect their soft abdomens, hermit crabs often retreat into empty gastropod shells, and each time their body grows, they must find a new shell that fits better and offers more protection. This behavior continues throughout their entire life cycle. Kelp forests are the perfect place for that journey. These forests, with their complex three-dimensional structure, provide a rich and varied supply of gastropod shells. But hermit crabs don't choose shells at random. They assess size, volume, tilt, balance, and most importantly, internal capacity. When many hermit crabs gather around an empty shell, they form a vacancy chain. In this moment, a larger individual takes the newly found shell. A smaller crab quickly moves into the one it left behind, and so a swift and efficient chain of shell exchanges unfolds. The molting and shell-changing process can last up to 60 days. This is also when hermit crabs are most vulnerable, having shed their protective outer layer. Kelp forests become the perfect refuge, helping to shield them from predators. The rich, kelp-covered seabed also offers intact snail shells with ideal surfaces for amphibians to grow. With every move, hermit crabs carry a moving microhabitat on their backs. They help link the scattered parts of kelp forests into a vibrant and ever-expanding living network. Hermit crabs, especially the common hermit crab, are typical residents of the kelp forests in northern Europe. They have learned to make use of every crevice, every abandoned snail shell in these unique underwater forests to survive and evolve. To survive and protect their soft abdomens, hermit crabs often retreat into empty gastropod shells, and each time their body grows, they must find a new shell that fits better and offers more protection. This behavior continues throughout their entire life cycle. Kelp forests are the perfect place for that journey. These forests, with their complex three-dimensional structure, provide a rich and varied supply of gastropod shells. But hermit crabs don't choose shells at random. They assess size, volume, tilt, balance, and most importantly, internal capacity. When many hermit crabs gather around an empty shell, they form a vacancy chain. In this moment, a larger individual takes the newly found shell. A smaller crab quickly moves into the one it left behind, and so a swift and efficient chain of shell exchanges unfolds. The molting and shell-changing process can last up to 60 days. This is also when hermit crabs are most vulnerable, having shed their protective outer layer. Kelp forests become the perfect refuge, helping to shield them from predators. The rich, kelp-covered seabed also offers intact snail shells with ideal surfaces for amphibians to grow. With every move, hermit crabs carry a moving microhabitat on their backs. They help link the scattered parts of kelp forests into a vibrant and ever-expanding living network. The hiding places of hermit crabs are also a favorite feeding ground for sea urchins, especially the green sea urchin. From the stalk and blades to the leafy cover around the holdfast, every part of the kelp plant is a tasty meal for these spiny creatures. When their numbers grow dense enough, they can bring down entire kelp forests. Once the population exceeds 8 to 10 green sea urchins per square meter, the forest loses its ability to recover. At densities of 30 to 50 individuals per square meter, a phenomenon known as an urchin barren occurs. The seafloor becomes bare and lifeless, stripped of kelp and macroalgae, a state that can last for decades. According to the 2024 study, successful large-scale and long-term kelp forest restoration by culling sea urchins with quicklime and supported by crab predation, thousands of square kilometers of kelp forest in northern Europe have vanished due to a sea urchin outbreak in the 1970s. With the kelp gone, the ecosystem shifted into an alternative state, one without macroalgae. Shelter, food sources and habitats for many species disappeared, threatening the balance of the entire ecosystem. As kelp forests face the threat of being devoured by sea urchins, nature has already prepared a natural counterbalance. The Atlantic wolffish. The Atlantic wolffish is a keystone species. It plays a crucial role in controlling sea urchin populations. By doing so, it helps preserve the structure of rocky reefs, kelp forests, and coastal seagrass beds. The Atlantic wolffish has a fearsome set of teeth. Both its upper and lower jaws are equipped with 4 to 6 large, conical canine teeth. Behind the upper canines are 3 rows of crushing teeth. The lower jaw also features 2 rows of molar-like teeth for added support. Its throat is lined with scattered, jagged teeth as well. This specialized jaw makes the Atlantic wolffish an expert at hunting hard-shelled and spiny prey. It uses its front canines to break open shells. The rear rows of teeth then crush the prey into pieces. The Atlantic wolffish can replace its teeth throughout its life. This allows it to continuously feed on sea urchins, large sea snails, clams, scallops, hermit crabs, and starfish. From the kelp forests beneath the sea to the rivers flowing through the land, Skagerrak's natural story continues with the Glomma. This is the longest and most voluminous river in Norway. Glomma stretches 621 kilometers. Its drainage basin covers 42,000 square kilometers. It accounts for nearly 13% of Norway's surface area. At its meeting point with the sea, Glomma opens into a vast delta, a Ramsar brackish water site. This area is one of the most diverse wetland ecosystems in Northern Europe. According to the information sheet on Ramsar wetlands from 2009 to 2012, over 250 bird species have been recorded in this area. Beneath the water, the fish ecosystem also shifts with the seasons. In summer, freshwater fish populations thrive. In winter, rising salty tides bring marine fish deep into the estuary. The upstream journey of the Atlantic salmon, Salmo sala. The Glomma River is the backbone of the Atlantic salmon's life cycle. Their journey begins in the gravel beds of the river. At this stage, they are still juveniles, relying mainly on the nutrients stored in the yolk sac beneath their bellies. After about 2 to 6 weeks, once the yolk is depleted, young Atlantic salmon leave the gravel beds. They begin to feed on their own. Their main prey includes planktonic larvae, beetles, stoneflies, and terrestrial insects. Atlantic salmon typically live in fresh water for 2 to 8 years, but their time in the river comes with significant risks. Trout and predatory birds can take out nearly 40% of the juvenile population. The survivors leave the river for the ocean between March and June. They remain in saltwater for 1 to 4 years. During this time, they go through a rapid growth phase. Adult Atlantic salmon can reach lengths of 71 to 76 centimeters and weigh between 3.6 to 5.4 kilograms. But the journey of the Atlantic salmon is not yet complete. Once they're fully grown, they swim back upstream to freshwater to prepare for spawning. Upon returning, Atlantic salmon stop eating entirely and begin laying eggs in redds, gravel-filled nests on the riverbed. Atlantic salmon are heteroporous. They can reproduce multiple times. However, most individuals spawn only once or twice in their lifetime. Atlantic salmon were once a top target for commercial fishing. Overfishing and habitat destruction have led to sharp population declines in many areas. In 2023, the Atlantic salmon was classified as near threatened on the IUCN Red List, with a 23% decline recorded between 2006 and 2020. Today, wild-caught Atlantic salmon are nearly absent from the market, making up only about 0.5% of the global salmon supply. Leaving behind the cold northern rivers, Skagerrak continues to stretch southward, where it meets the Jutland Peninsula of Denmark. Here, the sea is no longer fringed by fjords or kelp forests, but by ever-shifting sandbanks. At the very northern tip of Jutland, the sandbar Spit Grennen stretches out into the ocean, shaped by the intersecting waves of Skagerrak and Kattegat. This sandbar spit curves eastward for 4 kilometers. Grennen is not fixed in place. Currents and wind continuously reshape its tip, gradually shifting its orientation from north to northeast over time. Over the past century, Grennen has extended by roughly 1 kilometer. The area surrounding Grennen is considered the most diverse birdwatching spot in Denmark, with 367 migratory species recorded. This sandbar spit serves as a natural stopover for birds of prey and species traveling across the marine corridor between Norway, Sweden, and Northern Europe, a resting place before they either continue across the sea or branch inland. About 100 kilometers southwest of Grennen lies Bulbjerg, a natural limestone cliff rising roughly 47 meters high. It is the only mainland nesting site in Denmark for the black-legged kittiwake, a seabird more commonly found living far out at sea. The Skagerrak waters stretching out before Bulbjerg offer an abundant supply of sandeel, drawing hundreds of individuals to the narrow cracks in the cliff each year. From April to August, they continuously build nests out of mud, grass, and seaweed. According to data from the Danish Bird Migration Atlas in 2000, Bulbjerg recorded up to 428 black-legged kittiwake nests. It has become the largest breeding site for this seabird species in Denmark. The presence of black-legged kittiwakes at Bulbjerg has attracted the white-tailed eagle, the largest eagle species in Europe. They have bodies ranging from 66 to 94 centimeters in length, wingspans reaching up to 2.45 meters, and can weigh as much as 6.9 kilograms. The waters around Grennen and Jutland form an ideal hunting ground, with nearly 40% of their diet consisting of fish and 48.5% birds. White-tailed eagles display remarkable flexibility in prey selection. They hunt everything from surface-dwelling fish to birds nesting on cliffs. They attack from high perches or by flying low over the water for surprise strikes. When needed, they can dive straight into the sea or wade into shallow waters to catch fish. Black-legged kittiwakes are also a favored prey of white-tailed eagles. The largest eagle in Europe has no trouble accessing nests on steep cliffs. They often target eggs and chicks, and sometimes even adult birds. According to the 2022 study, white-tailed eagle presence drives long-term declines in productivity and colony size of black-legged kittiwakes. The increase in eagle numbers has led to significant declines in the reproductive success and colony size of kittiwakes in many areas. To the southwest of Grennen lies a shallow, complex and surprising body of water, Limfjord. Stretching about 180 kilometers, Limfjord extends from the Tiberon Channel, which connects to the North Sea, to the eastern estuary opening into Kattegat. The terrain here is like a maze, with deep bays, narrow straits, and numerous small islands. Limfjord is not a closed brackish water area. Salt-rich water from the North Sea raises the salinity to about 30 practical salinity units, equivalent to ocean saltwater. This has led to the formation of an entirely new ecosystem. Small mollusks and saltwater fish quickly move in to settle. Migratory birds such as spoonbills, common cranes, and great skuas also find refuge here. On land, life continues with red deer, Eurasian beavers, hares, and foxes. Together, they form one of the most unique land-sea transition ecosystems in northern Europe. The openings connecting to the North Sea and Kattegat have turned Limfjord into a two-way tidal system. The meeting of these two water flows creates a dominant current that runs from west to east for most of the year. This current carries plankton, jellyfish, and countless other tiny drifting species into Limfjord. Lion's mane jellyfish, the largest jellyfish species in northern Europe, also appear here. They have bells measuring up to 50 centimeters in diameter. The largest individuals can expand to 2 meters, with tentacles stretching tens of meters long. Lion's mane jellyfish do not travel in groups. They drift near the surface, at depths no greater than 20 meters in warmer waters. Currents from Skagerrak and Kattegat carry them toward the shore from June to September. The bell of the lion's mane jellyfish is divided into 8 large lobes. Each lobe contains between 70 and 150 tentacles. Around the mouth, there are more than 1,200 tentacles. These act as living traps, drawing prey close and engulfing small creatures like fish, zooplankton, and other jellyfish. These tentacles are covered with hundreds of thousands of venomous nematocyst cells. The lion's mane jellyfish spreads a net of tentacles around itself. Any small prey that drifts into this net is instantly paralyzed by the nematocyst venom. However, some small fish species like juvenile walleye pollock are unaffected by this venom. They often hide within the lion's mane jellyfish's tentacle system to escape predators. Moon jellyfish don't have long tentacles or strong venom like the lion's mane jellyfish. They have hundreds of short, delicate tentacles arranged along the edge of a bell, measuring 25 to 40 centimeters in diameter. This short tentacle system makes them microscopic predators. Their main food consists of mollusks, crustaceans, diatoms, and fish eggs. What makes moon jellyfish particularly special lies in their unusual life cycle. This cycle includes 4 stages. Planula, polyp, ephyrae, and medusa. The 2015 study Life Cycle Reversal in Aurelia discovered an individual capable of reversing its life cycle. Reverse development transforms the moon jellyfish from the medusa stage back into the polyp stage, similar to the immortal jellyfish. However, this process is not as common or stable as in the immortal jellyfish. Most moon jellyfish individuals naturally die after living and reproducing for no more than 6 months. The stable saltwater conditions in Limfjord provide ideal conditions for the growth of blue mussels and various oyster species. They quickly colonize the seabed, becoming a new source of life for coastal communities. Currently, blue mussel production in Limfjord ranges from 80,000 to 100,000 tons annually, with a value of about 15 million euros. The area is also renowned for high-quality, nutrient-rich blue mussels. However, over the past decade, harvest stocks have declined by nearly 50% due to fishing, eutrophication, hypoxia, and climate change. An extensive monitoring network has been established, with 71 to 388 observation stations to balance harvesting and conservation. Spatial limits have been set to avoid conflicts with coastal protected areas, harbors, and recreational zones. Flowing southward, Skagerrak meets Kattegat, the sea barrier before the Baltic Sea. These two transitional seas, between the North Sea and Baltic Sea, form one of the most dynamic hydrological zones in northern Europe. With salinity increasing along the depth gradient, Skagerrak and Kattegat play a crucial role in biological connectivity between these marine regions. This area also hosts a rich ecosystem, from ancient cold-water coral reefs to giant predators. In the deep waters of Skagerrak and Kattegat, cold-water corals have quietly thrived for hundreds of years. They attach to hard substrates such as seamounts, slopes, and ancient rocky mounds to grow. Some others persist on soft sediment layers despite strong currents. Lophelia pertusa is the most common species. They live at depths ranging from 80 to over 3,000 meters, usually between 200 and 1,000 meters, with temperatures from 4 to 12 degrees Celsius. Each individual Lophelia pertusa coral colony can survive for 1,000 years. And an entire Lophelia reef can persist for up to 40,000 years. Lophelia reefs become home to over 1,300 species of fish and invertebrates. They create three-dimensional spaces, vast coral mazes. These serve both as protection for young fish from strong currents and predators, and as breeding and feeding grounds for countless species. They are the silent fortresses of the deep ocean, where life quietly endures in darkness across millennia. Hidden beneath the waters of Skagerrak is a living structure only discovered by humans in 2002. This is the Tisler Reef, a cold-water coral reef located at depths between 90 and 120 meters. It has existed for 8,600 to 8,700 years. Tisler Reef stretches nearly 2 kilometers from northeast to southwest, with a width of about 200 meters. The main structure of Tisler Reef is formed by Lophelia pertusa, interwoven with sponges like Geodia and Lingua. It is the only place in the world where yellow Lophelia pertusa has been recorded. The reef's distribution pattern varies by area. In the southeast, there are bush-shaped coral clusters with long, slender branches. In the northwest, there are cauliflower-like coral masses with shorter, denser branches. Tisler Reef is one of the most prominent biodiversity hotspots along the European coastline. It serves as home to countless species of fish and invertebrates. It also plays a role in carbon sequestration, absorbing CO2 and storing it in the ocean depths for thousands of years. Tisler Reef is currently located within Ytre National Park, Norway's first coastal national park. The country banned all bottom trawling fishing activities around Tisler Reef in 2003. This measure aims to prevent severe mechanical damage to the reef's structure, which grows very slowly. Further out near Rostlandet Island off the coast of Norway lies Roster Reef. This is the largest coral reef in the world, discovered in 2002. It stretches nearly 43 kilometers long and 6.9 kilometers wide. At depths of about 300 to 400 meters, the water temperature is only around 2 degrees Celsius. But under these harsh conditions, Lophelia pertusa quietly grows at a rate of about 1 millimeter per year, and the reef's main structure can endure for thousands of years. Every small organism finds shelter, breeding grounds, or feeding spots within this cold coral maze. However, to this day, humans have surveyed only a very small portion of Roster Reef. The rest, deeper, farther, and more pristine, remains out of reach, waiting to be discovered. Together with Tisler Reef, Roster Reef is also under strict protection. In 2002, Norway banned bottom trawling and other damaging activities within an area of about 300 square kilometers surrounding this giant coral reef. On the opposite side of Tisler Reef, in Swedish waters, lies an ancient cold-water coral heritage that has existed for millennia. Säcken Reef. It is the only ancient cold-water coral reef in Sweden. Located at depths between 80 and 130 meters, Säcken Reef once covered about 5,000 square meters. However, today, the reef's area has shrunk to just 300 to 500 square meters. Most of the reef structure is now gravel coral, the skeletons of dead corals. Despite this, around 47 species are still recorded as associated with the reef. Led by the University of Gothenburg, restoration efforts for the reef have begun. Lophelia pertusa from reefs in Norway are being transplanted here to enhance genetic diversity and promote recovery. In laboratories, larvae, attachment conditions, and growth rates are closely monitored to optimize every step of the regeneration process. Scientists have also modeled support structures using 3D printed materials to create ideal substrates for the new generation of corals. Säcken Reef is a valuable ecological model where living individuals may have survived for thousands of years. It also serves as an important case study for researching cold-water coral restoration and applying restoration technologies. Success at Säcken lays the foundation for protecting and regenerating other damaged cold-water reefs in northern European waters. Deeper within Skagerrak lie the unusual bubbling reefs. These unique reefs are found only in a few rare locations in Europe, notably off the western coast of Hirtshals, Denmark. They form around cold seeps, where methane and hydrocarbons continuously leak from the seabed. Methane is the foundation of the entire ecosystem here. It provides energy for pioneering bacteria. From there, an evolutionary chain unfolds, starting with beds of Bathymodiolus mussels and extending to cyberglinid tube worms. Eventually, a carbonate rock base forms. When the methane runs out, the pioneer organisms retreat, and Lophelia pertusa begins to settle on the ancient carbonate base. They continue the endless cycle of life regeneration on the seabed of Skagerrak. They continue the endless cycle of life regeneration on the seabed of Skagerrak. Two opposing water currents in the sea area between Skagerrak and Kattegat create a frontal zone favorable for plankton to thrive. In spring, from April to May, this area experiences a plankton spring bloom. Between 1984 and 1993, primary production here averaged about 200 grams of carbon per square meter per year, nearly double the levels recorded in the 1950s. This plankton bloom has nourished a vast ecosystem, supporting everything from tiny organisms to fish, seabirds, and whales. The nutrient-rich waters of Skagerrak are especially attractive to basking sharks. This is the second largest shark species on the planet, only surpassed by the whale shark. On average, an adult measures about 7.9 meters in length and weighs over 4.5 tons. But basking sharks are not predators. Their wide jaws contain thousands of tiny teeth, only 5 to 6 millimeters long, curved inward and useless for biting or tearing. Instead, they are master filter feeders, relying primarily on a ram feeding strategy. While feeding, basking sharks swim slowly at about 3.7 kilometers per hour. Their cone-shaped mouths open wide, engulfing plankton along with hundreds of tons of seawater. A 5-meter individual can filter up to 450 tons of water in just 60 minutes. Basking sharks do not hibernate. They dive as deep as 900 meters in cold weather to find food. During spring and summer, they return to the surface waters of Skagerrak to take advantage of the abundant food from the spring bloom. The spring bloom also brings common minke whales to these waters. Spring is the time when currents deliver large amounts of herring, sand eel, and plankton. In winter, they migrate southward to breed and raise their young. Amid the abundant prey in Skagerrak, the lunge feeding technique of common minke whales proves highly effective. When spotting a school of fish, they charge forward at high speed, opening their mouths nearly 90 degrees to engulf the prey. As the smallest rorqual species, common minke whales can swallow a volume of water and prey larger than their own bodies. This is thanks to their ventral pleats, which can expand like a giant water pouch. After the lunge, water is expelled through dense baleen plates, trapping the prey inside. Sometimes, common minke whales also use a strategy called surface side lunge feeding. They perform lunges close to the water's surface, tilting their bodies instead of keeping them vertical like in standard lunge feeding. This technique is especially effective when schools of fish and plankton swim near the surface. Common minke whales exhibit strong individual specialization. Each whale sticks to a distinct hunting strategy to gain a unique advantage when feeding. According to the 1989 study, The Foraging Specializations of Individual Minke Whales, individuals specialize in only one of two feeding strategies: lunge feeding or bird-associated feeding. This specialization helps them optimize foraging efficiency, increase adaptability to their area, and reduce competition within the species. When spotting a school of prey, some individuals dive deep and blow bubbles through their blowholes. These bubbles form an invisible net, surrounding and herding the prey into a tight cluster. At the lead whale's signal, the group lunges upward in unison. They open their mouths nearly 90 degrees, cutting straight through the center of the bubble net to capture their meal. Humpback whales then use their 540 to 800 baleen plates as a sophisticated filter. They push water out while retaining all the prey inside. The hunting process may seem complex, but it actually happens within just a few seconds. Humpback whales also possess complex communication and social interaction abilities. They perform breaching, leaping out of the water, to greet, attract attention from others, or shake off parasites. During lobtailing, they slap their tails hard against the water's surface to coordinate the group or call mates during breeding season. And with flipper slapping, they hit the water with their pectoral fins to warn of predators or dislodge parasites clinging near their skin. Stalking predators. Beneath the lively sea surface, pipefish silently hunt close to seagrass beds. They cling tightly to the grass stalks with their prehensile tails, keeping their bodies upright. Their small dorsal and pectoral fins constantly adjust their posture and steering. Blending into the background, they wait for plankton, small fish, or crustaceans to swim nearby before striking quickly. When spotting a target, pipefish slowly approach. They quickly snap their heads and suction prey when only a few millimeters away. Each suction lasts just 5 to 10 milliseconds. The elastic recoil mechanism allows pipefish to capture prey at high speed without disturbing the water flow or alerting the prey school. Flatfish are also species that make excellent use of the seabed environment for hunting or hiding. They often bury themselves in sand or mud, lying flat against the bottom with only their eyes exposed to watch. They can also camouflage by changing their skin color using special pigment cells called chromatophores. But flatfish can't always hide from clever predators, especially the common bottlenose dolphin. This species has an encephalization quotient of 5.26, surpassing even chimpanzees. They're known for self-awareness, imitation, and using simulated language. Common bottlenose dolphins are also versatile hunting warriors. They use a strategy called mud ring feeding, where one individual creates a spinning mud ring around a school of prey. This forces the prey to leap to the water's surface, where other dolphins are waiting. With strand feeding, common bottlenose dolphins cooperate to drive prey up onto tidal flats. Then they slide partway onto the shore to begin feeding. Their echolocation ability allows them to see with sound and locate prey hidden deep beneath the seabed. When flatfish camouflage fails to fool them, common bottlenose dolphins use their snouts to dig through the sand and uncover their prey. Common bottlenose dolphins aren't the only highly intelligent predators in the waters of Skagerrak and Kattegat. Orcas, the top predators with virtually no natural enemies, are also present here. Orcas appear in the Skagerrak and Kattegat waters during the herring migration in late winter and early spring. Here they frequently employ the carousel feeding hunting strategy. Their hunting process begins by locating schools of small fish using echolocation. Then they surround and herd the prey into a spherical ball about 2 to 7 meters in diameter. Using actions like tail slaps and blowing bubbles, orcas stun the prey. This is followed by precise bites. Each time, an orca can swallow up to 15 small fish. Each orca hunting session lasts from 10 minutes to 3 hours. This allows them to consume between 50 and 100 kilograms of fish daily. Orcas hunt in groups and live within a matrilineal structure, where females play a central role. They form strong bonds, creating matrilines, pods, and larger clans and communities. Each matriline develops its own language, consisting of 7 to 17 distinct calls used for recognition, maintaining bonds, and passing down culture. Beyond family ties, orcas also form friendships. Alliances among young males develop to improve hunting success. Orca intelligence continues to surprise scientists. In June 2025, researchers from the Center for Whale Research observed orcas in the Salish Sea using bull kelp as a tool to clean their skin. They performed massage-like behaviors to both remove parasites and strengthen social bonds. This is the first evidence of social tools in marine animals. Europe's busiest shipping lane. The Skagerrak-Kattegat Sea area is also Europe's busiest shipping lane, connecting the North Sea and Northern Europe with the Baltic Sea. According to a 2013 report by the International Hydrographic Organization, more than 10,200 vessels operate in Kattegat Skagerrak. Of these, around 7,500 are commercial ships in Skagerrak. However, this is also a sea area with many potential risks. Ships are prone to grounding in the region between Denmark and Sweden, where depths often fall below 30 meters. Between 2000 and 2017, there was an average of about 20 collisions and groundings per year. In the Kattegat area alone, a total of 474 maritime incidents were recorded between 2011 and 2018. Deep seabed. Beneath the surface, Skagerrak reaches depths of up to 700 meters at the Norwegian Trench. With its trough-like shape and continuous currents, the Norwegian Trench is the largest sediment accumulation area in the North Sea. It is also the largest chemical weapons dumping site following World War II. Deep Sea Sediment Zone. Each year, about 35 million tons of sediment settle on the floor of Skagerrak. Sediment particles are transported from the North Sea via the Jutland and Baltic currents, depositing in Skagerrak where the flow slows down. At depths of 300 to 720 meters, fine sediment beds are home to polychaetes. Among them, the tube worm Spiochitopterus bergensis dominates. Small but crucial, polychaetes play foundational roles in the benthic development of Skagerrak. Most polychaetes here are deposit feeders, organisms that consume organic matter within the sediment. Others are tube dwellers, living fixed inside tubes they secrete. They help mix the sediment, improve oxygen levels, and serve as food for many bottom-dwelling fish and crustacean species. Unis norvegica is a tube worm species found from shallow waters at 20 meters down to depths of 1,000 meters. They often form close associations with Lophelia pertusa coral reefs. They also help shape the reef structure and improve its durability by stimulating coral branches to grow around their tubes. In the soft sediment layer rich in silt and clay, Norway lobsters diligently dig complex burrow systems. These systems extend over 1 meter in length and reach depths of up to 30 centimeters, with a diameter of about 10 centimeters. They use these burrows as safe daytime refuges. At night, they emerge to forage. Shipwreck graveyard. Beneath the Skagerrak seabed, time has quietly transformed shipwrecks into artificial reefs. According to data from the Norwegian Coastal Administration, this sea area currently holds about 2,300 shipwrecks. In shallow waters, rusty wreckage becomes an anchor point for life. Seaweed, starfish, and corals like dead man's fingers cling tightly to the ship's structure. Benthic creatures such as brittle stars and even large wolffish also make their homes here. At greater depths, shipwrecks create rugged terrain with cracks and hidden crevices. These provide ideal shelter for fish, crustaceans, and small benthic organisms, helping them avoid predators and increase survival chances in the deep sea. But not all shipwrecks are harmless. After World War II, many vessels carrying chemical weapons were sunk in Skagerrak. Over 168,000 tons of chemicals are buried beneath the seabed. According to the 2007 report, Pre-Study of Shipwreck Assessment and Remediation, at least 261 shipwrecks in Skagerrak pose potential pollution risks. The 2024 study, Evidence of Environmental Threat Caused by Sea-Dumped Chemical Warfare Agents, Exposure Status of Hagfish in the Skagerrak Strait, revealed that some shipwrecks containing chemical weapon toxins are still leaking into sediments and benthic organisms. Hagfish have shown accumulation of phenylarsenic chemical warfare agents in their bodies, confirming leaks from containers or shells. Skagerrak is a vital gateway within the network of northern European seas. It connects the brackish Baltic Sea deep within the continent to the North Sea in the west, opening a pathway for the waters to merge into the Atlantic Ocean. From here, the sea is no longer confined to narrow bays or the edges of the continent, and the journey of survival across the open ocean turns into a contest among the most formidable hunters of the deep. Formed millions of years ago, the Atlantic Ocean has only been explored in the past few thousand years. Starting in the 9th century, the Norse people sailed across its waves to reach Iceland and Greenland. By the Age of Discovery, the Atlantic Ocean had become a crucial route for the great European powers and their voyages of exploration. Today, this ocean remains one of the most vital arteries of global trade. The Atlantic Ocean is also the origin of the legend of Atlantis, introduced in 2 works by the Greek philosopher Plato, Timaeus and Critias, written around 360 years before the Common Era. In these writings, he described Atlantis as a powerful, wealthy, and highly advanced civilization located beyond the Pillars of Hercules, meaning beyond the Strait of Gibraltar. According to Plato, Atlantis existed about 9,000 years before his time and was submerged after a single day and night of misfortune, disappearing entirely beneath the Atlantic Ocean. Hidden beneath the waters of the Atlantic Ocean is a vibrant and diverse world. According to data from the Ocean Biodiversity Information System, more than 120,000 species have been recorded here, from the surface down to depths of 10,900 meters. The Northeast region, including the North Sea, is home to over 230 fish species. The seamounts along the Mid-Atlantic Ridge have also recorded more than 100 species, and the cold water coral reefs provide shelter for over 2,000 species of animals and microorganisms. The journey to explore the Atlantic Ocean begins in the north, where the ocean, continent, and icy realms converge. The North Atlantic Ocean is nestled between the Arctic Ocean to the north, North America to the west, and Europe and Africa to the east. This is also where vast currents come together, shaping a richly diverse biological environment. From the Gulf of Mexico, the warm Gulf Stream flows out into the open ocean and becomes the North Atlantic Current. It merges with the cold Labrador Current coming from the north. These opposing currents form a strong oceanic front, rich in nutrients, which supports a vibrant marine ecosystem, especially in the Gulf of Maine. This area is home to 652 species of fish, 1,410 species of invertebrates, 6 species of sea turtles, 32 species of marine mammals, and more than 184 species of seabirds. Separating the northwestern North Atlantic from the icy Arctic Ocean is the Labrador Sea, a cold body of water spanning more than 840,000 square kilometers. When the ice melts in spring, the sea surface transforms into a vast, nutrient-rich blanket thanks to diatom bloom. From whales to shrimp, cod, and caplin, all gather here to take advantage of the abundant food supply. A journey of evolution spanning millions of years has enabled the walrus to adapt to the harsh conditions at the boundary between the Atlantic Ocean and the Arctic Ocean. A thick layer of blubber, up to 15 centimeters, helps retain body heat and stores energy for their long migrations. Their sensitive vibrissae, made up of 400 to 700 whiskers, allow them to forage at depths of up to 500 meters, even though they usually operate in shallower waters. Walruses rummage along the seafloor in search of food like clams, mussels, shrimp, and squid. Their whiskers act as sensory tools to detect prey hidden within the sediment. They then move their flippers using jets of water to dig and extract prey from their shells by creating negative pressure up to minus 118 kilopascals. The walrus's distinctive long tusks are not used for hunting. Instead, they serve as both weapons in combat and tools to help haul their bodies, sometimes weighing up to 1,600 kilograms, onto the ice. The tusks are symbols of strength and status within the herd, and males use them in confrontations during the breeding season. Walruses have the lowest reproductive rate among pinniped species. Females typically give birth to only one calf after a pregnancy lasting 15 to 16 months. Currently, the walrus population in the North Atlantic Ocean is estimated at just around 15,000 to 30,000 individuals. The Labrador Sea also records the impressive migration of the blue shark. They travel across the surface of the North Atlantic Ocean, frequently moving between tropical and temperate waters. Speed is not a strength for this species, as they usually swim at a pace of about 1.4 to 2.15 kilometers per hour. However, their remarkable endurance allows them to cover between 11 and 50 kilometers each day, crossing distances of over 3,000 kilometers in just a few months. Because they are not fast swimmers, blue sharks use a calm and deliberate hunting strategy. They move quietly near the surface, at a depth of around 30 meters, watching and searching for prey such as squid, octopus, or sardines. They only accelerate, reaching speeds of up to 70 kilometers per hour when launching into powerful, well-timed strikes. In the north, the Atlantic Ocean reaches the Arctic Circle and opens into the vast Nordic seas. This region is made up of three frigid bodies of water: the Greenland Sea, the Norwegian Sea, and the Iceland Sea. Deep currents and upwelling in this area have nurtured massive populations of herring and cod, forming the foundation of life in these northern waters. Without the intricate hunting strategies of the humpback whale, the fin whale relies on speed for a more direct approach to feeding. As the second largest whale species on the planet, reaching lengths of up to 27 meters, they can still swim at speeds of up to 46 kilometers per hour. This makes the fin whale one of the fastest creatures in the cetacean family. Even so, when feeding, fin whales typically swim at speeds of only 7 to 18 kilometers per hour. This slower pace allows them to perform lunge feeding with greater precision and lower energy use. With each lunge, these whales can engulf between 30 and over 80 cubic meters of water and prey. The food is then filtered by 280 to 480 baleen plates. An adult fin whale consumes between 1,800 and 2,000 kilograms of food each day. Thanks to this diet, they can weigh up to 80 tons. Beneath the lively surface of the Nordic seas, stirred by the lunges of fin whales, the Greenland shark swims quietly, following a timeline that stretches across centuries. It is the longest living vertebrate species on Earth. The 2016 study, Eye-lens radiocarbon, reveals centuries of longevity in the Greenland shark, showed that they can live for over 400 years. Some of the larger individuals have existed for more than 5 centuries. Greenland sharks typically live at depths of 400 to 700 meters. They can even dive as deep as 2,992 meters along the mid-Atlantic ridge. The cold, deep environment slows their metabolic processes to an extreme degree. Their bodies grow only 0.5 to 1 centimeter per year, and it takes around 150 years for them to reach maturity. Heading southeast from the Nordic seas, the Atlantic Ocean reaches the western coast of Europe. Here, the shallow North Sea acts as a gateway connecting it to the brackish waters of the Baltic Sea. Covering only about 575,000 square kilometers, the North Sea still holds the most dynamic biodiversity in Europe. It is home to more than 230 species of fish and over 100 species of seabirds. The North Sea also hosts 3 resident seal species, 16 species of whales and dolphins, and many other marine mammals. The North Sea is home to 130,000 grey seals, representing about 35 to 40% of the global population. This true seal species is commonly found along the coastlines of the United Kingdom, the Netherlands, Germany, Denmark, and Norway. They use rocky shores in these areas as resting spots, and they quickly dive into the sea to forage for food or avoid threats on land. Grey seals can dive as deep as 300 meters, though they usually forage at depths of around 30 to 70 meters below the surface. They use a U-shaped dive pattern, descending to the seafloor and then rising back up while patrolling their hunting grounds. Their sensitive vibrissae, combined with sharp vision and acute hearing, allow them to detect even the slightest movements of cod, sand eels, or herrings. Each day, this pinniped species consumes food equal to about 4 to 6% of its body weight. That's how grey seals prepare their energy reserves for the breeding season. As capital breeders, they fast completely during the birthing period. The female relies on stored fat to survive and nurse her pup for about 3 weeks before returning to the sea to forage again. Grey seals often communicate through vocalizations. However, researchers from Monash University discovered that they can also clap their flippers underwater to exchange information, ward off rivals, or attract mates. This behavior was previously observed only in captivity, but now it has been documented in the wild in the North Sea. Lying isolated in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, more than 1,000 kilometers from the eastern coast of the United States, is a chain of coral islands formed atop ancient volcanic peaks. Bermuda. Where tropical and subtropical waters meet, Bermuda is home to a diverse and unique ecosystem. Surrounded by fringing reefs, it shelters nearly 8,300 species, including 4,597 marine species and 3,702 terrestrial species. The vast waters of Bermuda set the stage for the spectacular displays of the spinner dolphin. This dolphin species is famous for its unique high-speed spins. It starts with a graceful glide underwater, then suddenly launches its body over 2 meters long into the air. They can perform up to 7 full rotations in just 1 second at a height of 3 meters. This is how spinner dolphins communicate and shake off parasites. Sometimes the spins are also used to signal the location of prey. They hunt mostly at night, when squid and mesopelagic fish rise to depths of 200 to 300 meters. The darkness of the deep water poses no challenge for their echolocation system, paired with sharp vision and acute hearing. Once they locate their target, small groups of around 20 individuals work together in perfect coordination. They swim in formation, circling tightly around the school of prey. Pairs take turns darting into the center every 15 seconds to feed. This strategy allows spinner dolphins to maximize their intake while conserving energy. Unlike spinner dolphins that dive several hundred meters deep, lemon sharks take advantage of coral reefs and shallow coastal waters to hunt. Their distinct pale yellow coloring helps them blend in easily with the sand and sea floor. These are the places where they rest during the day and lie in wait for prey when night falls. Lemon sharks detect electromagnetic signals using the ampullae of Lorenzini. They search for small fish, shrimp, and crabs hidden beneath the sand or in murky waters. Once they lock onto a target, they suddenly accelerate, reaching speeds up to 32 kilometers per hour to bite and flip their prey. At times, they swim in groups to adapt their tactics and boost hunting success. Lemon sharks are among the few shark species well adapted to the shifting mix of salt and freshwater around Bermuda. They hunt in salty waters and reproduce in coastal brackish lagoons, which offer safety and easy access to small prey. Here, the young are sheltered and nurtured for the first 2 years of life before they're ready to survive in the open ocean. Like the lemon shark, the porbeagle shark is also a highly adaptable species in Bermuda. They make full use of the natural offerings of this region. During the day, they hunt surface-dwelling fish such as herrings and mackerels. At night, with body temperatures 5 to 8 degrees Celsius higher than the surrounding water, they dive to depths beyond 1,300 meters in search of bottom-dwelling fish like cod and haddock. Recently, the waters of Bermuda recorded the first known case of a pregnant porbeagle shark being attacked by another large shark species. This porbeagle had been tagged for tracking in October 2020 off the coast of Cape Cod, United States. For the next 158 days, it quietly moved southward, crossing the Atlantic and approaching Bermuda. More than 1,500 kilometers west of mainland Europe, the Azores archipelago stands isolated in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Formed by volcanic peaks rising from the mid-ocean ridge, the Azores sit at the intersection of three major tectonic plates: North American, Eurasian, and African. Seamounts hidden beneath the surface create ideal conditions for the mixing of cold and warm currents, fueling plankton blooms and sustaining large fish populations. The Azores' remote location, complex terrain, and the mysterious depths of its seafloor have long led some researchers to speculate that this might be the last remnant of Atlantis. The Azores archipelago lies exactly where Plato described in his legend, beyond the Pillars of Hercules, just off the Strait of Gibraltar. The geological instability of the region, where Earth's crust is in constant motion, could be a sign of a once rising mid-ocean plateau that collapsed due to tectonic upheaval or a massive volcanic eruption. All sail-like dorsal fin, rising up to 1 meter, makes it stand out in this region. This distinctive feature serves both as an identifier and a symbol of the shark's strength. Sandbar sharks often cruise in circles near the seafloor or mid-water zones, where rocky outcrops and plankton-rich currents converge. These areas provide everything they need: small fish, squid, cephalopods, and crustaceans. Using their ampullae of Lorenzini, they can detect even the slightest movements. When the moment is right, they strike directly at the soft parts of their prey, ending the hunt with a precise, powerful bite. The sandbar shark was once common in tropical and subtropical waters throughout the Atlantic Ocean, but that very abundance made it a long-standing target of fishing pressure. In many regions, such as the northwestern Atlantic, populations have declined by more than 70% over the past 80 years. In 2021, the International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources listed the sandbar shark as vulnerable. In the Azores and Madeira, several marine reserves have implemented complete bans on shark fishing, including sandbar sharks. However, with a reproductive cycle that spans an average of 20 to 26 years, this species recovers at a very slow pace. Far from the continental shelves, the open, deep waters around the Azores archipelago become prime hunting grounds for the oceanic white-tip shark. This shark species typically operates at depths of 150 to 200 meters, where warm temperatures can reach up to 28 degrees Celsius. The oceanic white-tip shark is a solitary predator. It moves slowly, trailing schools of small fish, squid, or zooplankton. Its sail-like pectoral fins stay fully extended to help maintain a steady breathing rhythm until it suddenly lunges into the school of prey. Oceanic white-tip sharks are also willing to cooperate with other shark species when encountering large prey clusters. They enter a state of feeding frenzy marked by explosive hunting behavior. Multiple sharks compete chaotically for the same prey, leading to a sudden surge in consumption over a short period. At times, they become so frenzied that they accidentally bite one another during the feeding. Similar to the sandbar shark, the oceanic white-tip shark is facing intense pressure from bycatch. The 2021 study, Half a Century of Global Decline in Oceanic Sharks and Rays, revealed that populations of oceanic sharks and rays, including the oceanic white-tip shark, have declined by 71% over the past 50 years. This shark species is now listed as critically endangered by the International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources. In the deep waters surrounding the Azores archipelago, the sperm whale showcases its remarkable diving ability. This whale species can reach depths greater than 2,250 meters. It is among the deepest diving animals on Earth. Over millions of years of evolution, the sperm whale's body has been finely tuned for deep-sea dives that can last up to 90 minutes. Its massive head contains up to 1,900 liters of spermaceti, and its flexible rib cage allows it to adjust buoyancy with ease. Blood flow is concentrated to the brain, muscles, and heart, with the heart rate dropping to as low as 10 beats per minute. Its large lungs completely collapse to prevent being crushed under the immense pressure of the deep ocean. Sperm whales use powerful sound signals, reaching up to 230 decibels, to locate large prey such as giant squids and colossal squids. An epic battle unfolds between these massive creatures in the dark depths of the ocean. The round scars on the sperm whale's skin, left by the razor-sharp tentacles of colossal squids, are proof of just how fierce and intense these deep-sea encounters can be. Sperm whales also use rapid sequences of sounds for social communication. They live in matriarchal groups, known as pods, led by an adult female who guides the younger individuals. Each pod typically includes 6 to 20 members. Adult males live solitary lives and only join pods for mating. Far from the deep Azores archipelago, the eastern Atlantic Ocean narrows into a waterway less than 15 kilometers wide, the Strait of Gibraltar. This 60-kilometer-long channel connects the Atlantic Ocean with the Mediterranean Sea. Far from the deep Azores archipelago, the eastern Atlantic Ocean narrows into a waterway less than 15 kilometers wide, the Strait of Gibraltar. This 60-kilometer-long channel connects the Atlantic Ocean with the Mediterranean Sea. Just a few dozen kilometers from the Strait of Gibraltar lies an ancient submerged reef called Spartel Bank. It was once a small island, covering about 50 to 70 square kilometers, before being swallowed by the Atlantic Ocean around 12,000 years ago. This timing aligns almost perfectly with the era Plato described for Atlantis. Leave us a comment to let us know. Could these strange coincidences truly be remnants of a lost civilization? As schools of Atlantic bluefin tuna pass through the Strait of Gibraltar, another great ocean predator begins to stir. That is the orca, also known as the killer whale. The orca population at Gibraltar is very small, numbering just under 40 individuals. They appear most frequently in spring and summer, when Atlantic bluefin tuna are funneled into the bottleneck area of the Mediterranean Sea. The 2007 study, Killer Whale Predation on Bluefin Tuna, exploring the hypothesis of the endurance exhaustion technique, showed that orcas can chase their prey continuously for about 30 minutes. This relentless pursuit wears down the tuna, making them slower and easier to catch. In addition, orcas use a strategy called depredation. They approach fishermen's nets and pull tuna caught inside out. In some cases, they work together as a group. One group distracts the boats. Meanwhile, the other group quietly approaches from behind to snatch the fish. The 2016 report, Dynamics of Killer Whale, Bluefin Tuna, and Human Fisheries in the Strait of Gibraltar, found that 18 out of the 39 orcas in Gibraltar exhibit this behavior. This hunting method is far more energy efficient than chasing a fast species like the Atlantic bluefin tuna. Although orcas possess a wide range of hunting skills, in Gibraltar, this tuna species remains their most energy-rich and easily accessible food source. Orcas' intelligence is also reflected in their social behavior. They live in pods with close mother-calf bonds. The mother acts as a guide, teaching hunting skills, memorizing prey migration routes, and instructing on how to interact with the environment. Multiple pods gathered in one area form clans, each with distinct dialects, serving as a unique cultural identity for each community. After the intense orca hunt for Atlantic bluefin tuna in the Strait of Gibraltar, the Atlantic Ocean opens westward into the tropical Caribbean Sea. A vast bay enclosed by Central America, a large volcanic island chain, and the northern coast of South America. This region is renowned for the Mesoamerican Barrier Reef, the second longest coral reef system in the world, which, combined with mangroves and seagrass beds, forms a unique triangular ecosystem. The warm waters year-round, steady currents, and diverse seafloor terrain of the Caribbean Sea create ideal conditions for thousands of species to thrive. More than 1,000 fish species, along with 90 species of marine mammals, inhabit this area, forming a rich and vibrant web of life. The green sea turtle is one of 6 sea turtle species found in the Caribbean Sea. They feed on coastal seagrass beds, rest among rocky coral reefs, and nest on secluded sandy beaches. As the second largest sea turtle species in the world, adults can reach lengths of up to 1.5 meters and weigh nearly 400 kilograms. When young green sea turtles are predators, feeding on jellyfish, small fish, and invertebrates. But as adults, they shift to a plant-based diet, primarily consuming algae and seagrass. The name green sea turtle comes from the greenish fat layer beneath their hard shell, a result of this unique diet. When feeding, green sea turtles use their sharp, saw-like jaw edges to cut, crush, and chew tough algae and seaweed. They only trim the tips, leaving the roots intact. This behavior helps improve the health of seagrass beds, providing habitat and abundant food for many fish and crustacean species. After several years of feeding, green sea turtles travel thousands of kilometers using the Earth's magnetic field to return to the beaches where they hatched. There, they begin the reproduction process. Females typically lay 85 to 200 eggs per clutch at night, digging nests as deep as 56 centimeters. Hatchling green sea turtles emerge after 50 to 70 days. As soon as they break free from their shells, they instinctively dash toward the ocean. Those that fail to reach the water before dawn risk becoming prey for seagulls, crabs, and other predators. The peaceful seagrass beds are suddenly stirred by the presence of the tiger shark, the second largest predatory shark after the great white shark. Adults can reach lengths of up to 5 meters and weigh 600 kilograms. They are known as omnipredators, attacking anything that moves. In the Caribbean Sea, this shark is a formidable threat to green sea turtles and spotted eagle rays. The tiger shark's hunting strategy combines silent patrols with sudden bursts of speed. They often swim slowly near or along the seafloor of coral reefs, relying on the slightest signals to locate prey. Once their target is in sight, they accelerate rapidly and finish off their catch. Their large, sturdy, serrated teeth allow them to easily crush turtle shells and ray bodies. Each precise bite is a reaffirmation of the tiger shark's role as a top predator in the area. They regulate populations of sea turtles, rays, and many small coastal fish species, maintaining balance within the Caribbean ecosystem. Leaving the Caribbean Sea, the Atlantic Ocean continues to widen southeastward, with the Gulf of Guinea stretching from Ghana to Angola. This area is a vital biological center in tropical West Africa. The Guinea Current, combined with coastal upwelling, creates one of the most productive marine ecosystems in the world. Each year, this gulf produces about 4.6 million tons of fish, playing a crucial role in regional food security. The Gulf of Guinea is a crossroads of diverse ecosystems ranging from estuaries, mangroves, and seagrass beds to expansive continental shelves. It serves as a breeding and residence area for more than 1,000 fish species, including over 100 species of sharks and rays. The beaches, river mouths, and offshore rocky islands are also stopover points for at least 28 species of whales and dolphins. The coastal areas of the Gulf of Guinea are regularly patrolled by bull sharks in search of prey. This shark species adapts well to both saltwater and freshwater environments. They are among the very few shark species capable of swimming far inland. When swimming out into the vast ocean, bull sharks are top predators. Adults can reach lengths of up to 4 meters and weigh more than 600 kilograms. They possess a bite force of up to 5,000. Bull sharks hunt with a direct approach, relying on powerful jaws and their large bodies. They strike quickly and relentlessly until their prey can no longer escape. No need for packs or assistance. Bull sharks are efficient solitary hunting machines. After refueling in saltwater, bull sharks seek safer freshwater habitats to reproduce. They maintain salt and water balance through organs such as the liver, kidneys, gills, and rectal glands. Following a pregnancy lasting 12 months, this shark species can give birth to 1 to 13 pups. The newborns remain in freshwater environments until they are ready to swim out to the sea. Unlike the aggressive hunting style of bull sharks, whale sharks are drawn to the Gulf of Guinea for its abundant plankton. They are one of 3 filter-feeding shark species. Their mouths contain over 300 rows of tiny teeth and 20 filter pads that help them strain food like plankton, fish eggs, and larvae. They can filter up to 6,000 liters of water per hour. When feeding, whale sharks use a method called ram filtration. They swim forward, engulfing large volumes of water along with their prey. Sometimes they switch to active suction feeding to draw food in more deliberately. This shark species can also cough to clear accumulated particles from their filtering pads after each meal. Whale sharks can flexibly feed near the surface and at various depths, thanks to remarkable recovery mechanisms. They usually swim at depths around 50 meters, but can dive to 200 meters or deeper when needed. Tiny teeth on the surface of their eyeballs help protect their eyes from injury. They can also heal from major wounds and regenerate small parts of their fins. However, the global population of whale sharks is declining, with only about 130,000 to 200,000 individuals remaining. Over the past 75 years, populations in the Atlantic Ocean have decreased by more than 30%. The International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources has classified the whale shark as an endangered species. To the south, the Atlantic Ocean opens into a vast expanse, merging with the Antarctic Ocean and stretching all the way to the edge of Antarctica. This is one of the world's most important pelagic ecosystems, boasting high biodiversity of seabirds, fish, and marine mammals. The coast of South America is home to over 1,200 species of bony fish, more than 1,800 species of polychaetes, around 863 species of crustaceans, and 875 species of mollusks. Along coastal areas like Namibia, the Benguela cold current triggers rich zones ecosystems that support seals, penguins, and cetaceans with abundant small fish. Farther south, geothermal regions such as South Georgia and the Antarctic convergence become feeding grounds for various whale species during summer. The South Atlantic Ocean also serves as a breeding corridor for diverse seabirds, including albatrosses, petrels, skuas, and terns. Stretching over 7,400 kilometers, the Brazilian coast is one of the longest coastlines in the world and forms the western boundary of the South Atlantic Ocean. The combination of the warm Brazil current, diverse seafloor substrates, and vast river mouths like the Amazon and São Francisco creates a complex coastal ecosystem. This area serves as habitat, breeding ground, and feeding area for hundreds of species of fish, crustaceans, and marine organisms. At the Abrolhos Bank Coral Reef, the largest reef system in the South Atlantic, more than 20 species of hard corals have been recorded, along with thousands of endemic reef fish species. Along the Brazilian coast, the South American sea lion is a silent yet effective marine hunter. They dominate rocky shores and river estuaries thanks to their massive size. Adult males can reach lengths of up to 3 meters and weigh around 300 kilograms, about twice the size of females. South American sea lions have diverse hunting behaviors. During the day, they scour various ocean layers, from diving deep near the seafloor to herding prey in shallow waters. When they catch hake, anchovies, cephalopods, or octopuses, they immediately shake their bodies vigorously to tear apart their prey. Sometimes, South American sea lions team up with pods of dolphins to confuse their prey. They take advantage of their allies' echolocation abilities to easily locate small fish. Male South American sea lions also display notable strength in their reproductive behavior. They establish harems consisting of 5 to 18 females to secure their status. Males without territories may conduct raids, sometimes kidnapping pups or disturbing rival males' females. Facing the Brazilian coast, the 3,900-kilometer-long South Africa coast marks the eastern boundary of the South Atlantic Ocean. Here, the cold Benguela current from the north meets the warm Agulhas current from the Indian Ocean. The interaction between these two currents creates one of the most biologically productive marine regions in the world. The South Africa coast is home to the annual sardine run, when hundreds of millions of sardines migrate along the shore. This provides an abundant food source for sharks, seals, dolphins, seabirds, and whales. Along the South Africa coast, there are also numerous rocky reefs and kelp forests, hosting over 325 species of seaweed, 129 species of hard coral, 991 species of marine fish, and 22 species of marine mammals. Along the South Africa coast of the Atlantic Ocean, great white sharks were once abundant. They formed large populations in False Bay, Gansbaai, and the waters around the Cape Peninsula, with more than 300 individuals recorded in the early 2010s. They are famous for their spectacular breaching displays when hunting seals. Great white sharks are the largest predatory fish on the planet. They can grow up to nearly 5 meters long, with females typically larger than males. Their jagged teeth deliver a bite force exceeding 18,000 newtons, strong enough to tear through any prey. The great white shark is a generalist carnivore. When young, they feed on small fish and cartilaginous sharks. As adults, they shift to marine mammals such as seals, sea lions, and even whale carcasses. When hunting, great white sharks can swim at speeds of up to 40 kilometers per hour and dive as deep as 1,200 meters. They employ a variety of clever strategies and often target vulnerable spots on their prey to conserve energy. With seals, great white sharks use their powerful jaws to stun or exhaust their victims. When hunting dolphins and porpoises, they attack from above, behind or below to avoid detection by echolocation. However, the great white shark populations in False Bay and Gansby have sharply declined since 2017. The arrival of another top predator has nearly wiped them out from these waters. They are the famous orca pair known as port and starboard, the new nightmare for great white sharks along the open waters of the South Africa coast. In False Bay of the Atlantic Ocean and Mossel Bay of the Indian Ocean, they have hunted at least 8 sharks. These killer whales target the nutrient-rich livers, a valuable energy source in the ocean that helps them endure long migrations. The confrontation between two apex predators, orca and great white shark, shows just how fierce yet magnificent the Atlantic Ocean truly is. However, the world's second largest ocean is struggling with climate change impacts and human exploitation. In the North Atlantic, the Atlantic meridional overturning circulation has weakened by 15 to 20% over the past 200 years and could decline by as much as 43% by the end of the 21st century. This increases the risk of flooding along the US East Coast and exposes Europe to unpredictable climate changes. The Atlantic Ocean is also experiencing severe oxygen loss. Oxygen minimum zones have expanded by 4.4 million square kilometers over the past 50 years. This affects the health of marine life, even in the deep ocean floor. Additionally, humans release 1 to 2 million tons of plastic into the ocean each year, causing the deaths of over 1 million marine animals. Overfishing is also placing significant pressure on Atlantic Ocean populations. Species like cod and bluefin tuna have declined by more than 90% since the 1970s. In response to these threats, the Atlantic Ocean is being protected through a network of marine protected areas. In the Northeast Atlantic, managed by OSPAR, 583 protected sites cover about 1.5 million square kilometers, roughly 11% of the waters, aimed at conserving cold water corals and deep sea species. Further south, the Ascension Island Marine Protected Area, spanning 443,571 square kilometers, has banned all fishing and seabed mining since 2019. In the US Atlantic, the Northeast Canyons and Seamounts Marine National Monument, covering 12,700 square kilometers, was established to protect deep-sea biological corridors. Fisheries management measures are also being strengthened. The International Commission for the Conservation of Atlantic Tunas reduced Atlantic bluefin tuna catch limits from 27,500 tons to 13,400 tons by 2014. Regional agreements such as CIFO and NAFO have banned shark finning and bottom trawling and use satellite monitoring to track fishing activities. New initiatives like the International Seafood Sustainability Foundation and Atlantic Seascape Mapping are helping to establish more effective marine protected areas in the future. The Atlantic Ocean is the lifeblood of global life, and every action we take today will shape its future. If you believe in the value of conservation, please like and share this video to spread the message for a sustainable ocean. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to join us in exploring the ocean's mysteries in upcoming videos.